Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing Faux Locs on short hair. So I used some Kinky Twist hair here. I used two different colors. They were by two different brands, just happened to be because they didn't have one color in the same brand. And then I also used some regular braiding hair as well. Instead of the free twist curl pattern, I just kind of curled it myself. The ends there, you can see they're straight. I flexi wrought them and dipped them in hot water to get them to be curly. Now you do want to section off your hair. I did little afro puffs. Next, you want to take your braiding hair. You do want to make sure that the hair is tapered on the ends of the batch of braiding hair that you're going to use. You don't want it to be straight out the pack, just blunt cut at the ends. You do want to mix that up. They do have videos on that, on how you can stretch the hair so that it's not so blunt at the ends. Like I'm showing you here, they're tapered. So you want to take that, and you want to take as little hair as possible so that the braid is thin and it's not big. The more hair you use, the bigger the Faux Loc will be. So here I'm just showing you the crossover method. After you take your amount of hair that you want to braid with and split it into two, you don't have to do it this way. You can just use the regular amount of hair that you pull apart. I just specifically do this way because that's what I'm used to. So now we're going to begin to take that hair. You're going to take one side of it that has the two strands of hair, and then the other side that has the two. You can split it into a total of 3. You want to take one of the 3 pieces and attach it to the puff. You want to pull it tightly, well, not as tight, but tightly so that the braid can wrap around that puff. You can split that puff hair if you can, if it's long enough, out to the other 2 braids just so that it's anchored in there. But I'm doing the best as I can because my hair is very short. So some hair will stick out, and that's okay because that'll be covered up. Now you do not have to braid all the way to the bottom of the hair. I would just braid a little bit past the actual hair length, and then you can stop there because there's no need to braid all the way down to the bottom. If you want, you can. The longer the hair is, you obviously want to braid past wherever your hair stops, but here I just braided enough past my little bit of hair. Next, we're going to take our Marley hair. You only need 1 strand of this Marley hair. 1 strand will do for a whole Faux Loc. So you want to stretch the hair out. You want to make it a little bit as loose as possible than what it is. You want to hold the middle really tight and then just pull on the ends to soften it up. Now you want to go in by grabbing one tail end of the hair, of the Marley hair. You want to fold it over just a little bit, and you want to take that little bit and attach it to the braid, and the longer piece, that's what you're going to wrap around the braid extension that we anchored on. And you want to hold that tight to the braid, and as you're holding it tight, you want to wrap that Marley hair slowly, not super tight, but as tight as possible. And you want to keep it up close to the top of the root of the braid so that the hair can wrap around and cover up that braid that we anchored on there. You just want to keep wrapping that hair around that braid, keeping your finger right there as a stopper. So wrap right on top of that pointing finger that you have that's holding that braid there. And as you wrap, your finger will glide down, and then you just keep wrapping right on top of that finger. But just keep double checking to make sure that that hair that you're wrapping around the braid is covering the braid. Just a quick disclaimer, please do not wrap the hair extremely tight around the braid. It will cause some hair damage or possibly hair loss because of the tightness of the braid. The braid does spin. It tends to spin if it's wrapped extremely tight here. I'm wrapping very close to the braid, and I have my finger that I'm using as a anchor to pinch it and hold it in place. But you don't want to wrap it extremely tight. It will cause the Faux Loc to spin, and it could possibly pull out your hair. Okay, so now we've gotten to the end of the kinky twist hair, and we leave a little bit hair left. Now that we have this little bit of hair and we still have our braiding hair at the end, we're going to create a knot with the kinky twist hair, a very thin knot. And just to make that little knot invisible, you can keep wrapping the excess hair around. You can knot it again if you choose. I just kind of do it based off of the little strings of hair. Sometimes you can pull the hair and it'll just break off. Sometimes you can wrap it and it'll just stay in place. And that is it for your locks. If you want to curl those ends, which I suggest if you do this regular braid method, curl them with a curling rod or flexi rod and dip them in hot water. That is what I did to achieve my curls at the bottom, and you'll be all set to go. Thanks guys, see you next time.